All right, man, let's talk Chicago Bears here for a little bit. Look, the draft has been wrapped up for a few days now. Look, every time this time of year, we always like to take a step back a few days after the draft and go through each team's picks and kind of peruse and see what teams really made a lot of smart moves, usually on day three, potentially day two of the NFL draft. And we got one guy in particular that the Bears picked up. I think it was a really smart move by Poles and company, and this guy will be absolutely massive for them come regular season time.
Yeah, Nick, I think the story you dug up is really, really great. I think the Bears fans, I think Justin Fields, everybody is going to love this guy. But talking about the picks, the Bears had a ton of them this draft, and they've really just killed the draft, whether they trade back from number one or all the picks they picked up. But I want to ask the fans in the comments below to let us know, out of all of the picks that the Bears have made, who is your favorite? I know it's kind of hard to choose, but give us one that you like the most the Bears making. But Nick, I want everybody to stay tuned to hear a word from the partner of today's video, Neuro. They have a product that gives you a quick and easy boost of energy. So make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video to learn about Neuro and a special discount for you. But nonetheless, Nick, who is this new Chicago Bear that is going to shake up things?
Yeah, man. So the Bears have had a great draft. They've done a great job, frankly, this entire offseason. But I think maybe one of their more under the radar moves, really smart pickup they made, happened in the fourth round of the draft. And if you want to go ahead and throw up the report, I'll read from it for Bears fans who aren't aware of. This is according to NBC Sports Chicago. General Manager Ryan Poles drafted Texas running back Roschon Johnson with the Bears' first pick of the fourth round. And then, here's the big part, stole a weapon off the board at number 133 by selecting Cincinnati wide receiver Tyler Scott. Most scouting services viewed Scott as a top 50 pick, but he slid to round 4, and the Bears were able to add a dynamic weapon known for his ability to flip on the afterburners. All right, so obviously Scott was a very big play guy. He's got great speed, was very productive at Cincinnati. Obviously high value getting him at, fourth round when a lot of people thought he'd be a top 50, top 80 pick. So great job by the Bears and Poles and company to pick up a guy of this value. But this is the guy I've had my eye on the moment throughout pretty much the entire draft process. Because when I saw him at Cincinnati, I happened to catch a few of his games. He reminded me of one current NFL star in particular, and that's Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys. And look, I know Pollard plays running back. This guy's listed as a wide receiver. But people forget, Pollard coming out of college was a kick returner. Pollard had seasons where he played wide receiver, and he had a lot of seasons where he like a third down running back kind of deal in college. I think, and then he, of course, Pollard has come to the NFL and been a great running back and a great receiving threat out of the backfield as well. Basically, he's a great football player who can do a lot of different things, return game as well. I think this is the exact kind of guy Tyler Scott is. He can kind of fill that same Tony Pollard-esque role, just a playmaker. You can put him in the backfield. You can line him up at the slot. You can put him at wide receiver, have him return kicks. He can do it all and can do it all extremely well. And I really love this pickup too, because when you look at the Bears roster and you look at just their standard position sets, they got a true number one in DJ Moore check. They got a big physical guy in Claypool. They got a solid number two in Mooney, solid tight ends in Kmet and Tunyon, obviously solid group of running backs with Dante Foreman and Herbert and company, with Justin Fields running the show. So they've got like all the traditional boxes checked. But when I look at the roster, they don't have that dynamic playmaker, a guy who can do all kinds of crazy things, matchup nightmares, who can line up, he can line up in the backfield one play, line up at wide receiver the next. And I think this is a guy in Scott that can do that to a T. He gives him that final added boost. I really love this pickup by the Chicago Bears, Mize.
Yeah, Nick, I think it's really great, and I think you hit the nail on the head, because I didn't know this until I did a little bit of research. Just now I was reading about him, but Scott actually is a former running back who switched to the receiver position. So, I mean, your comparisons, you just got an eye for picking out a guy who looks like So Tony Pollard comparison is absolutely perfect. Former running back switched to the receiver position, actually had his best PFF grades as a receiver last year in the full-time receiving role, 72.1 receiving grade. So this guy, absolute steal. Maybe he fell because he just switched to receiver. Maybe he fell numerous reasons, Nick. But as for being a potential top 50 pick at one point in time, playing on that Cincinnati team that had loads and loads of talent, everybody remembers Desmond Ridder. Everyone remembers Sauce Gardner. There is tons of good talent on this Cincinnati team. You can't discount the offensive side of the ball either. And I think a guy like Tyler Scott is, like you said, he's the perfect gadget type of player. I know in the comps, they say he's a little bit like T.Y. Hilton as a receiver in his size, stature, twitchiness, speed. So this could be the perfect guy for them. Think, a guy that can play running back. He can play receiver. He can do returns. He can do whatever he needs to do. I think this is a really versatile pick. And once again, a very smart pick by Ryan Poles and company.
Yeah, Miles, and I'll leave you with this. This is according to Scott's NFL.com draft profile. This is kind of the final thesis of his draft report. Scott is an ascending talent whose versatility and playmaking talent create an easily projectable upside as a good starting slot receiver early in his career. I think he'll play some running back. I think he'll return kicks as well. But no matter how you look at it, this is a guy who you alluded to the fact he's getting better and better. He's extremely talented, top flight speed, good size, can line up anywhere. This is an awesome pick by the Chicago Bears. This guy's going to be a stud very early on in his career. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big time game winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment, you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.